Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Stone Zone, the place where I blabber about Japanese cartoons. So yeah, part 3, huh? Likes, and I'll do a part 2, so smack like. Sorry, this is part 2.
Ooh, self-burn. Those are rare.
Anyway, this is part 3 of the Reacting to Hater series. You guys freaking loved the last video. I mean, yeah, I advertised it a lot because I put a lot of effort into it. It's not like I'm milking the fuck out of people who leave low Dr. Stone ratings on the internet or anything. I would never dare to do such a horrible thing. Now, most of the time, the low rating reviews on my anime list are all people who come to Dr. Stone expecting a post-apocalyptic world grounded in reality. Even though I do understand where they're coming from, you know, with Dr. Stone having realistic science and all, I don't understand why people expect realism in a shonen manga/anime. People who come to terms with Dr. Stone not being a realistic anime enjoy the show quite a bit, or they drop it and never touch it again. Others, however, don't see the shonen tag. Today we shall be roasting said type of person, but this reviewer is quite unique. He compares Dr. Stone to our world in a scale never seen before, like in my last roasting hater video, which you should totally check out. Let me know if you like snow or not in the comments down below, and with that, let's get into it. Oh, also, did you know that bees sometimes sting other bees? Kinda cool. And now you pay up for the fact by subscribing and liking the video. Do you know who the strongest man alive is? Louis Sir, the strongest man ever recorded, was able to lift a 514-pound boulder from the ground to his shoulder at age 19. But I suppose we'll have to rewrite the history books because Tsukasa Shishio can kick the shit out of a 420-pound lion with one punch at just age 18. Wow, I like kicking stuff with one punch as well. Anyway, the first time I read this, I laughed my ass off for 5 whole minutes because of how stupid it is. I know it is an exaggeration, but I still find it hard to believe that this person is comparing a fictional murderer with a real-life human being. Also, according to Wikipedia, Louis Sir was able to lift 500 pounds with one finger. That is impossible, of course. No man can lift 500 pounds with a single finger, but it doesn't really matter because we aren't talking about real people here. Oh, and as far as I know, 514 is much more than 420 pounds, so Tsukasa should be able to punch a lion. Dr. Stone is essentially a show about almost nothing that makes no sense. Something sounded off about the sentence. Let's take the Ishigami village for example. It sure is amazing how Senku's dad's village was able to survive for 3,700 years in not only the exact location it was created, but it wasn't wiped out by any natural disasters. It wasn't wiped out by disease, no harsh climates, or civil wars. But hey, screw sense, everyone's happy all the time. Why would there ever be problems in this perfect village? Now, I agree with this up until the part where he says almost. The thing is, people refuse to see the actual thing that makes sense, and shit on everything that doesn't. The fact that there are only 40 people in the village should make it clear that Inagaki took all of the things that this reviewer listed into consideration. I'll do some realistic arguments here as well because this person did. You know what they say, use realistic arguments to beat realistic arguments. Why did the first humans not die of natural disasters, diseases, or harsh climates? There were obviously very few humans on our planet at the start. Why did they not die out with even lesser technology? I don't know the answer because I'm dumb, but you could probably apply it here too. This is a minor manga spoiler, but a lot of villagers died due to food shortages in the past. Or let's take how far ahead everybody plans. Do you know anyone in your life who plans to give their future descendants thousands of years later a message or something to help them on their journey? Yeah, me neither. Me neither, because the world is not petrified. At most, people would plot out history, maybe 100 years from now, but nope. By Dr. Stone's logic, they planned out things that could happen thousands of years later, somehow knowing that throughout the course of all that time, their plan would be foolproof. Spoiler alert, their plan wasn't foolproof. Wait, what do you mean? No one would bother to give their future descendants a message in our world unless the entire world was petrified. Like, how can you even begin to compare an anime with our world? The thing is, Byakuya did all of the things, like making the record player, as a last resort. It's like coding. If Senku was revived, there was no way he wouldn't meet the villagers. His last name is Ishigami, so the villagers would recognize that. Byakuya knows his son is selfish and controlling, so he knew that Senku would want to get all the villagers on his side. If he didn't break free from the petrification, it wouldn't have mattered anyway, because Byakuya didn't waste valuable time to set everything up. But ignoring all of this, let's talk about the cast. Senku, a man 10 billion percent smarter than everyone else. What's with all the Dr. Stone haters making cheesy 10 billion person jokes? It's not funny or badass when you say it. Please, stop. Somehow is so brilliant at age 16 that he is able to literally count the seconds for 3,700 years straight without making one simple mistake. And somehow, even with the planet's rotational orbit having being shifted at an insane degree, he's able to figure out the season he is in the moment he's freed from his rock form. Wow, he's just that smart, even having the mental strength to not have gone insane after so much time in isolation from people, constantly being kept awake. Oh yeah, let's just assume that Senku is in our world, but if that happened, why haven't we all been petrified? Now in this aspect, the last reviewer was much better. That person was at least able to acknowledge the fact that this was shonen, and even if Senku counted for 3,700 years, they were about to accept that. They didn't because they wanted to complain about every nook and cranny about the show. If you want to watch that, please do. It's my best video so far in my opinion. Or, let's take his best friend as an example, Taiju Oki, which I am fairly certain has a single-digit IQ. Yeah, he does. How'd you not figure that out? But I can't be fairly certain. How? Taiju is possibly certifiably retarded. I'd have said he's just unique, really. He is kept alive in his stone form, and his mind is racing constantly through the 3,700 years of, you guessed it, wanting to wake up and talk to his crush and admit his love to her. Wow, he's just that cool. Yep, that's just Taiju being a Chad for 3 millennia. He doesn't even tell her after being revived though, like what the fuck? Or, let's take Taiju for example. At age 18, he can kick the shit out of boars, lions, and pretty much any predator you can think of while being able to smash rocks in pieces with his bare hands. In this world, he wants to make it so that no adults can survive, and that kids should rule their world in their stead, because apparently all adults are monsters and are rotten on the inside. I feel like Tsukasa Taiju and his ideologies are extremely misunderstood. He doesn't specifically hate the older generation, but his respect towards them decreased after the seashells incident. I'll go in depth into Tsukasa Taiju and his ideologies in a future video, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Senku, wanting to bring science and technology back into the world, is stopped by Taiju because Taiju just simply doesn't believe in antibiotics, electronics, medicine, electricity, faster transportation, or anything technology related because apparently science will destroy the world, or so he thinks. But not to fear, because Senku is 10 billion% sure that science can save the day and the world as we know it. Yeah, not to fear, Senku is a shonen protagonist. It's not like shonen protagonists, or any protagonist, are written to save the day or anything. Not for real, please stop making 10 billion jokes, I beg. There are honestly some good characters throughout this show, the old man being one of them, just a cool dude, or Magma being possibly one of, if not the sexiest man alive. Okay, hold up. You're telling me that this person hates Taiju because of his loud and unrealistic personality, but you like Magma, who also has a loud and unrealistic personality. I won't even go into detail about how they spend at least 2/3 of the show being a crafting simulator, literally doing nothing except craft stuff and gathering materials to craft very important science shit. What? Huh? Dude, that's like the main attraction of this series. People come to Dr. Stone for the science. It's an entirely new concept in the shonen genre. Of course, most of it is going to be a crafting simulator, and the science shit is very important. It's Senku's only way of fighting, and without it, this series would be as good as the generic shonen bullshit you see today. If you like stereotypes, shit characters, over-the-top dialogue, or Magma, then give this show a try and see if you like it. Okay, so if you like these characters from this series, then watch this series. I'm wondering if this person has lesser IQ than Taiju at this point. Let's just hope they're being sarcastic. Also, I don't even know why this person bothered giving Dr. Stone a 5 out of 10 after complaining that much. Anyway, I feel like most of the reviews I see on my anime list are all similar. I think this is what happens when an immature kid reviews a popular anime. The first thing that happens to these pitiful species is that they see a popular anime, and when they do, they puke. They don't see anything wrong with the series, but they absolutely despise it because it's popular. Everyone knows that popular means bad, right? But now, they need a reason to hate on the said popular series. And how do you do that? Yep, they go on my anime list and read all the people complaining about the smallest nitpicks and steal them. According to scientists and researchers, this is how the species, popular anime hater, is born. Well, I hope you enjoyed the 10 or so minutes of me trying to be funny but failing miserably. If you did, like and subscribe. Okay, bye.